Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to my channel, Soul Colors. And I'm Angel. I am a Reiki Master, Intuitive Healer, and Holistic Life Coach. I wanted to come on today to speak about some of the energies that we have going on. I know I've been trying to get you guys videos like during the week to give you the energy of the week, and I just have not been able to find the time to do like a video here lately within my week. The energy's so busy and just so out there that it's hard to put everything into a video. You guys see maybe a 15-minute video or a 30-minute video, and in that goes editing and different things to that degree. So it's been kind of hard the last couple of weeks to really get it in like I want to. So I wanted to come on today and just kind of speak about some of the energies we have going on, speak about what Metatron and Spirit has come to me and said, look, we need to put this out here. We need to support the collective and speak about how we can support each other on an individual level as well. So I'm going to start off by spraying some Palo Santo cleansing spray just to clear the channel. This is a blend that I create and sell at the office, so if you would like more information on that, let me know. Okay, like I was saying, it is August 14th. It's a Wednesday, and the energy is a lot. And we have different stages where people are, and it is affecting them differently. So to start with, I'm going to start with the energies that I feel is affecting everyone on a collective level. We have these energy waves and solar flares coming into the crown area. Excuse me. And so as that comes into the crown area, it makes this part of the body feel kind of heavy. This works around with the Ultima Major chakra that is at the bottom of the skull. There's a chakra there, and as energy's coming in, as energy's trying to flow out, that can kind of get clogged. And I'm finding that a lot of people are finding that chakra just kind of like a traffic jam. Nothing can come in or nothing can come out. And it's just jamming up, and then it's overloading the system. So by using color therapy of aqua light blue colors, this chakra is considered the mouth of God. And so that also works on a spiritual level, an individual level, and a collective level. So when you use these aqua kind of colors, lighter blue colors, this works with that chakra at the back of the skull. The bones are being brought forth very poignant. The skeletal system, the atlas in the neck, the rib cage, the spinal alignment. So you guys may be feeling this on a spinal level, popping, hypermobility, things popping out of place, just feeling sore, like down into your bones, just feeling tired. And so pay attention to that, and if you need to rest, drink plenty of water, take plenty of time to get into nature and to ground yourself on a better level. If you do not have a chiropractor, I would recommend looking into that. If you cannot afford a chiropractor, look into frequency, music frequency. There's a lot of music frequency on YouTube for free that can help you with spinal alignment, to remove certain energies and different things to that degree. And as we go through this towards November, these energies are going to, I feel as though, are going to intensify. And so that means they're going to intensify outside of us as well as inside of us. So Metatron brought to my attention today, we need to truly pay attention to patterns in our own life, collectively, individually, energetically. We need to pay attention to those patterns. And when these patterns start coming back in, it's either to help heal something that has not yet been healed, because we are like onions. There's different layers, and that pattern can come back in and we can recognize it. And that's what Metatron's saying. Pay attention, get it before it gets caught up in that loop, that endless loop of that pattern. It may be a different circumstance, because a pattern will not always come through with the same circumstance. It may be, different circumstance, but it can be the same energy. So pay attention to that. We're clearing the 16-year cycle. We're also clearing things on a Gaia level, on an Earth level, on a planetary level, as well as individually and collectively. And nature around us will tell us exactly what is going on. And if you look around, I think a pyramid from thousands of years ago, I think it was like 1100 years ago, it collapsed. You have volcanoes trying to erupt, you have floods, and you have all of this energy that is flowing around. And when that energy flows around on the outside of us, it triggers things on the inside, whether it be distantly in daily life, like your immediate, or just that passing by pattern thought. It's going to affect us as a whole, mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically. And I know that there's a lot of us that are on the front lines of this energy, because we are transmuters. We do not absorb, we transmute. And so a lot of these things are coming into us, and these things are coming up for one reason: that pattern is still there, and you're paying attention to it, and you're catching it, and you're clearing it, hopefully. And two, if you clear this from you, you can also help clear the collective as well. There's a lot of fear that's swarming around, and that will bring fear up inside of us. And with that fear swarming around, there's a lot of unknown. A lot of people want to know, I want to know the future, I want to know this, I want to know that, I want to know what's going to happen. So there's a lot of fear towards the unknown. And I'm a believer of, the past does affect us, but we cannot live in it. We have to live in that present moment. And as far as for future events, if we keep that fear towards the unknown, then that lower vibration of fear somewhat has that channel. And us on the front line, as light workers, as energy workers, as everyday people that know their energy and pay attention to their energy, know that all this energy is coming in. And the key to kind of working with that is understanding, no, we technically do not know what tomorrow is going to bring, but if we place in that higher vibration of love, you can't go any higher than that. That higher vibration within ourselves, within the collective, within nations, globally, love, and it just raises your whole vibration. You're like, well, I can't go in to just complete love because all of this is clearing in my body. I'm afraid of what's going to happen. um, financially to the collective. I'm afraid of government, this, that, and the other, all this stuff that's going on. And Metatron says when all this is going on, this is when we go inside. This is when we go inside. And we go inside and we see where that fear from the collective is holding in the body. We go back to that Ho'oponopono. I love you. I thank you. Forgive me. I'm sorry. And we find that fear of change, because I've noticed that a lot of people, even on the spiritual path, are getting into this divide. We're getting into that divide. We're getting into just coming at each other on a level that is dividing us. And that's throwing our energy off as well. That's, that's kind of one-sided, when we're supposed to come complete balance, one-into-one, oneness of love. And so I can understand that fear collectively, individually, and we need to, as a collective, need to understand that that is to clear from us so we can help clear the collective. You may be thousands of miles away of something happening. You have the fires in California, you have this, you have that. But if something is laid on your heart to either help, you're like, how am I supposed to help? How can I help myself? How can I help others? How can I do all of these things and still transition into change? And so that's where we take those 22 minutes a day and we work inward, and we see the world that we want. We feel the world that we want. We add more light to what is lowering vibration, negative vibration, however you want to look at it. We keep adding that light so it's neutral. And then when it is neutral, it will all come into that quantum healing, of that infinity of quantum healing. And so that's what we're going through right now. The way Metatron shows it to me, it's like we're erupting. We're letting go of all of these energies. And through letting go of all these energies, mentally, physically, emotionally, collectively, individually, we mold ourselves into our greatest human, mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically, and we help the collective raise the vibration for a better world in general. So as these come through, as these energies come through, just pay attention to your body, be good to your body, place those good foods in there, and place that water in those electrolytes, and know that everything is working out for your best and highest good, mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically, collectively. Because if you're watching my video, more than likely you're a frontliner, what I call a frontliner light worker. So we're like the Care Bears, and they're just shooting out all this energy. That's how they kind of show it to me. And we're shooting all this energy, all this high vibration energy into the collective. And we're also healing ourselves. And it's triggering things within us. Whether, whatever you're going through in your life, in this moment, time, and space, it is divinely planned. It is divinely guided. And if you hold on to the understanding that everything can be raised up, vibration can raise, love can raise anything up. And so if you stay in that healing understanding of life is happening for me and not against me, then that's going to help you get through this. I'm not saying there's not going to be times of stress, and I'm not saying there's not going to be times of worry or times of unsure. But we as a collective and as a whole have to stand together in the light and know that it may seem like it's falling apart, but it has to fall apart so it can come back together. Kind of like the phoenix, kind of like that energy, like it burns down. All that energy burns down, and then it molds into this beautiful phoenix. And so that's what I see happening collectively, individually. It's like we're in this, and I hate to use the word power struggle, but we're in this power struggle of you're right, I'm wrong, and we can't come to this common ground on some levels of the collective. And then there's other levels of that collective that understands the age of Aquarius, that understands that we go straight back to that love. We go straight back to that light. Doesn't mean we don't get frustrated. Doesn't mean we don't have fear. But we don't, we let it flow through. We let it flow through. And that's what you kind of sort of are having to do right now at this moment. Allow it to flow through. The body is taking so much light in. The mind is clearing, the emotional body is clearing, the energetic body is clearing, and we're clearing on that collective level. And it's kind of like the Atlas, where he's holding the world on the back of his neck. He's just holding that. And we no longer have to hold that heavy energy. We no longer have to hold that. We no longer have to play into the energy of, this is heavy. We're going to a lighter energy, even though on the outside it just looks like, no, there's no way we could go to a lighter energy doing the things that's going around. The things that's happened globally, the things that's happening all over the world. There's different aspects I could go in and say this is this and this, and I'm not going to go into all that on the video. I'm just kind of coming in today to say you got this. And we're going through a lot of energy, and there's going to be some ebb and flow. But that ebb and flow is going to get us to where we need to go. Everything is divine. And the future is not yet placed in. We build that. And when two or more come together, it shall be done. And if we come together as a whole, no matter your understanding of religion, no matter your understanding of politics, no matter your understanding of any of it, but if we come together as a whole, and say, okay, we're going to do everything we do out of love, then that's going to bring in that help those higher vibration energies anchor. And as they anchor into us, they will anchor into Mother Earth, and then they will go out. And then there will be others that understand and see and know that we're going to a higher timeline of just healing and love, and we're getting back to the basics. We're getting back to the truth of exactly what our mission is meant to be. And so as you're going through these energies, pay attention to those patterns. Are those patterns coming up to clear from you individually? Is it a pattern that you recognize in the collective as well? And so I'm going to pull a couple cards onto that, and I hope I didn't go off on a tangent of where it's not being understood. And if you guys have questions about certain things, or would like more videos on a certain topic, just let me know, and I can better assist you throughout this process. But we're going, and this is supposed to bring us, everything that's happening is supposed to bring us, we got one card out of the angel deck, back to love, back to who we are. So just kind of keep that in mind. And no, it's not to say that you don't pay attention and you're delusional about what's going on in the world. It's to say that you see what's happening, and you're going to take that 20 minutes a day, 3 times a day, and you're going to send that energy. You're going to send that love, and you're going to send that healing, and you're going to send that light, whatever it may be, whether it's sending energy to Gaia with the volcanoes, or sending energy to a certain state because they're going through whatever they're going through, or sending energy, all around the world, just so we anchor that higher light in. Take those 22 minutes a day, whether it is individual. You can say on Monday, I'm going to take these 22 minutes and I'm going to work on me individually. I'm going to see what pops up, and see if that pops up in the collective as well. You may say on Thursday, I'm going to work with the collective energy of grief, or the collective energy of heartache, or whatever, and you take those 22 minutes on that day, and you at 9-3, you can go 3-6-9, or you can start at 9 in the morning and go 3 in the afternoon and 6, but like 3 times a day, that 3-6-9 energy is going to help you bring in the things of healing within your own body and collectively. All right, so we got one card out of the Louise Hay House. We're going to, because we're changing, and a lot of people go, but I want things to change. But technically, subconsciously, people are afraid of change. People are afraid of the transition period. People are uncertain of what's going on, and just understand that you have that ability to navigate your own self, and to help navigate the whole collective by placing in this energy of just love, of neutrality. It may be something you don't like, and say, okay, why don't I like that? Or why does that feel a certain way to me? Check with that belief system. And then if you go through and you do all those checks, and it's like, okay, this is why I'm here, for this, to send energy to this part of the earth. This is the reason I'm doing this. Once you understand why you're going about certain things within your own energy and collectively, you can take those 22 minutes, like I said, and send that energy to different parts of the world, globally. Send that energy to you individually and collectively, because if you're clearing grief, I'm sure there's someone in the collective that is also clearing grief, and we can call in that spiritual team to help us. There's a lot of unemployed angels. I work with a lot of angels, archangels, different ascendant masters, but there is a group of angels that are considered unemployed angels. They do not have titles, and so we're able to call those angels in and say, okay, this is what I'm working with. Can you help me clear this fear towards finance, towards tomorrow, towards whatever, or whatever you're having this fear towards. Or maybe you're like, I need someone to help support me through these energies, because this is energy we've never seen before on a collective level and an individual level. So we're having to navigate these kind of sort of, I don't want to say in the dark, but these are things our body knows. These are things our energy knows, and it's uncharted territory. And so that's like the ocean. They show me that dark ocean, and that's working again with that Ultra Major chakra. That's working again with that Atlas of the neck, holding all of that. Like I said, there's a lot of people that are wanting things to change, but they're not wanting to let go of certain beliefs within them. They're not wanting to understand someone else's side. So it's kind of like we're doing this tug of war. And that's where we stay the middle path, and we say everything we say and do is going to be in the name of love, is going to be in the name of healing, is going to be in the name of greatness going forward. And so just keep that in mind. This is the Archangel and Gemstone deck, and we have Archangel Jophiel. Wisdom is stored in my cells and bones. There's that cell and bone again. I am conscious of my intelligence. I tap into my ancestral knowledge. Meditation comes naturally. I go within for guidance every day. I integrate and process all that I perceive with ease. All right? And our stone is shell fossil. And it says, are you ready to uncover memories or wisdom stored within your consciousness? Spiral inward to understand your dreams and visions. Recognize the value of the past and use it as a stepping stone for the future. You have much wisdom to inherit within you. Use it. Okay, and so this on an individual level, and this on a collective level. We learn from the past. We learn from the past. So what patterns are we as a collective clearing? What patterns are we as a collective noticing? All right, and so we have the self-esteem with Louise Hay House, and it says the greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. Look at that. The greatest gift I can give myself is unconditional love. I love myself exactly as I am. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. I no longer wait to be perfect in order to love myself. And how can that work on a collective? Well, the world's not perfect. The difference between love and hate is indifference. So that's where we go in the middle. We don't hate. If we don't, love and hate, the mid is indifference. So we go into ourselves to learn to love ourselves so we can love what is on the outside. We may not agree with it. We may not resonate with it. And there's a time to be that peaceful warrior. I'm not saying, don't use that voice. Don't speak up. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, we go back to that peaceful warrior. We go back to that unconditional love. Because when you are truly honest, stepping into yourself of unconditional love, then there will be no negative to come out of your mouth or to come out of your spirit or to come out anywhere. You're just in there without judgment. And that was the other thing. Metatron says we're judging ourselves as we're going into these different degrees of healing. We're judging ourselves. We're judging our emotions. We're judging how we're feeling. We're judging what's going on in the world, what's going on in the collective. We're judging. And to have unconditional love, we do not use that judgment in that aspect. Unconditional love does not judge. And that is to oneself and to one as the collective. So what are you judging on the outside world? Because I bet what you're judging on the outside world is showing up inside of you. Inside. Inside. If it's showing on the outside to you, it's showing up on the inside as well. Because when you can step forward to something and say, no, I disagree with that, but I give it no judgment, and I will stand in my power, then there's no argument. There's a discussion, but there's no argument. So what are you judging within you? What are you judging within the collective? And are you feeling you are being judged? And if so, go into those feelings. Go into that healing realm. All right? And then our last card is Changing Woman. Changing Woman. These are beautiful illustrations. Changing Woman is perhaps the most revered of all deities. Among the Native Americans of the southwestern United States, she is a wholly beloved figure from it is Changing Woman who gives the people their abundance and who provides the teachings that allow them to live in harmony with all things. In initiation ceremony of Navajo women, they take the power of Changing Woman so that she may learn the values of love, hospitality, generosity, and know that she herself is the source of food and harmony. Changing Woman receives her name because she can change at will from a baby to a girl, to a young woman, to an old woman, and then back again. Very much alive today, she is tremendously nourishing, who teaches the wisdom of nature and the cycles of birth and death. And so here we go with that cycles of birth and death. That cycle of changing, whether you're female, whether you're male, whether you're that child, you have that child and you see that child change on a daily basis. You know, we as adults don't see ourselves changing on a daily basis, but children change on a daily basis because they're learning and they're growing and they're processing, and they go through all these changes. And then we think as adults that we no longer go through those changes. We go through the same changes, mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically, changing. With each second, we're changing. So I think this whole message is to come back to ourselves, to understand that unconditional love is the way for ourselves and the collective, to look at our belief systems towards certain things so we can find that neutral stability. I think that if we go into what seems to be the energy of breaking apart, because that's what's happening, it's everything is breaking apart. You see it all the way around you, and we have this division, left side, right. You know, and not just in politics, in everything. You're either left or you're either right, or let's take the middle road. Let's take the middle path. That's the middle path. The middle path is balance. The middle path, that is balance. So we have a lot out here that are pulling from this left side. Feminine energy is very emotional. Very emotional. You know, masculine energy is very strong. But when we go into that divine feminine, we can find that unconditional love. And it may be emotional when we feel that unconditional love, but it's not from our trauma. And then into this healed masculine, into the divine masculine. It is still strong, but it's protective and it's stable. And so that's what we need to take away from everything that is coming in right now. It is breaking apart so it can come back together. And some of us are having a hard time with it breaking apart. Once again, we're clearing this 16-year cycle. We just got that finished up. And then we have all these planets in retrograde, and then we have Venus and Mars over here doing their thing. And then Pluto, and that's shaking everything up on a collective level. And these energies are coming in, and we're trying to judge how we're feeling. We're trying to judge what's outside of us. We don't judge it. We allow it to flow so it can go back to balance, so it can be that middle path. And it may take us a minute to get there. It may take us a minute to get there. Individually, collectively, globally. It may take us a minute. But we have to start somewhere. And that somewhere is coming into us. Coming into us. And just centering oneness with ourselves. Because when we have oneness with ourselves, what's going on in the outside, we react to it differently. What is your perception of what's going on the outside of you? How much is triggered by the inside, and vice versa? So Dr. Hugh Lin, the Ho'oponopono, says that Creator sent us here so we could clean. A lot of other people say this is a learning school. Canon. Dolores Cannon, it's a school of learning. I've heard other people say it's a school of learning. What are we learning? What are we learning on a collective level? I believe that we're learning on a collective level to let go. To let go. To let go. To let go of old earth. And, just to let that go. And I know sometimes that's easier said than done. But we have to let go of the old so the new can anchor. And I hope that if you see this video, you can come into yourself and help anchor on a collective level, as well as help anchor this energy on an individual level. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the video, and I will probably do more. Like I said, there's so much energy coming in as a whole that it's hard to get it all in a day, because it affects my body as well, energetically, and all of these energies anchoring into the body. You may find yourself wanting to rest more. You may find yourself not wanting to be on the internet more. You may find yourself being called to go out into nature, and that's please answer that call, because that helps us ground, that helps us heal Gaia, that helps us heal ourselves. And we just need to get back to basics within ourselves. It doesn't matter what's going on per se in the media. And I know I hear someone saying, but look, half of what is being shown or understood is only by perception. What is your perception of it? And so if you step away from that media, if you step away from everything that's happening collectively and go inside and anchor yourself in love, anchor yourself in light, and take those 22 minutes a day to say, okay, no matter what happens, I'm going to take those 22 minutes today and I'm going to work on the fear in my body. So I help work on the collective fear. And when these energies come in, allow them to flow. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to understand it. Just allow it, observe it. And then once you observe it, go from there. We observe, And then we start transmuting. Then we start clearing, and we clear that within ourselves, and then we clear that within the collective. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. I hope this gave you guys a little bit of understanding of what's going on in the energy. And I appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys are going through as a whole, individually, what you're feeling as well within the collective. So we can come together as a community on this channel and try to help each and every one of us flow through these emotions. You guys have a good afternoon, and until the next video.